reckless endangerment of the community. And this is why I say the city of Abbotsford is liable for, their ban on harm reduction. And actually, like, if I had the ability to get around and do more right now, I'd probably jump on the bandwagon and pass out crack pipes. But I don't do that kind of thing. I'm into the macro thing. I'm into changing it from the government level. Right. I'm not into changing it and helping each individual.
Okay, well, Tim, here's my problem. Okay, I'm sympathetic to your friend who's got the cold sore and had to share her crack pipe, and and that's all very sympathetic, and I feel really bad. But here's my point. I am a law-abiding citizen. Okay, last I checked, doing crack, the idea of having crack illegal, banned substance, you're not supposed to do it. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't do crack or even smoke.
Hey, your opinion is it's illegal and you're not supposed to do it. First of all, the laws should never be. So don't go telling me anything about
what.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anything you got to say about that because, like, you got no right to decide what another person puts in their body. So I don't care about you being a law-abiding citizen. Do you worry about your problems and I worry about mine?
Well, my problem, Tim, is the fact that I am a law-abiding citizen, and when I get sick, if I get a cold or something, or I get an infection of some kind, I go to the doctor and they give me a prescription, and they say they take my prescription. I go to the doctor, the pharmacy, and they make me pay for my prescription, right?
Hey,
but the crackhead can get a free crack pipe.
No, stop right there. Stop right there. I'll let you continue, but hold on right there. Listen, if you want to worry about the money that your government is spending, look about the hundreds of trillions of dollars that we spent on this drug war over the last 50 years. We're spending $40 billion a year on fighting the drug war when it's cheaper to give away crack pipes.
Okay, that's great, but it doesn't make my medication free.
Pardon?
It doesn't make my medication free. I don't care.
But it would make it free. You don't understand. You not only have $40 billion from law enforcement, but all those cops that we hire, we can now lay off and make them walk around and pick up garbage if you want.
Well, I would like to have a cough syrup war then, so I can get some free cough syrup, because I'm tired of paying for it while these crackheads get to light up for free. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's ridiculous.
Okay, first of all, like, one thing has nothing to do with the other. Like, you sound like a whiny economic bitch to me.
A whiny economic bitch?
Yeah, like, that's a government-issued bitch talking like that. First of all, like, the person with the crack pipe has nothing to do with you. If the government's giving away...
My taxes are paying for his crack pipe. What do you mean it has nothing to do with me?
33 cents, and your taxes are not paying for his crack pipe.
I do not want to give that guy 32 cents or 3 cents. He's a crackhead. Why do I want to give him some of my hard-earned money? He doesn't give me anything. He breaks into my house, steals my iPod, and I have to go pay the deductible to make up for it.
Well, that's because you were the one that fixed the police on him and caused him to be motivated to do that.
Oh, it's my fault.
Yes, it is.
It's my fault because I sicked the police on him.
Yeah, because you're not engaged in this conversation and you don't understand all the ramifications of sending the police after him. You are as guilty of being engaged in this.
The ramifications of sending the police after him. He might get caught, learn his lesson, and stop breaking into my car.
Well, or that's a hard way to go about minding your own business and being able to go about your life.
Mind my own business? The guy breaks into my car. Why didn't he mind his own business and buy his own fucking iPod?
Because you sent the police after him. You raised the price of the crack, so he has to come to you to get the money to pay for it.
Yeah, that's after he broke into my car and stole my iPod.
I think if he breaks into your car, you should leave him a note, and he should be able to come back tomorrow. You should fix your window and put stuff in there so that he can come back tomorrow and get something.
So I should leave him a note.
Yeah, some cookies like you do for Santa Claus, but some cookies and milk.
So cookies and milk, yes, for the criminal who breaks into my car.
Well, listen, if you want to be as ridiculous and go into ego, listen, it's costing 33 cents to give away this pipe. And if you give away this pipe, you're going to stop the spread of disease.
Okay, there is a. I understand the argument of harm reduction. The idea is we spend less on these guys, these crackheads, if they don't die. Less on medical costs if we give them clean new stuff to use. That's the idea behind the safe injection site, right?
How about this? How about the young guy that's going to cheat on his wife, and he goes down and he visits one of these girls down here, and he takes herpes home and he kisses his little girl. Now you're going to tell me that and then how about that little girl kisses the girl next door, and then you go out with the girl next door and you get herpes, and you're going to tell me that giving that crack girl a free 33-cent pipe wasn't worth all those people getting herpes? that what you're going to tell me?
I'm going to tell you there's a bigger picture than someone kissing their wife next door. I'm saying there's a principle in this country where law-abiding citizens should get the break, and the criminals should be the ones that get the punishment. So if the crackhead gets herpes, I actually don't have much sympathy for that.
Okay, well, when you get herpes either, I don't have much sympathy for you. Listen, either you better learn to say, "Hoo-yah, Mr. Policeman, give me more, and I enjoy the drug war," or you better start to learn to deal with this in a sane and rational manner and put your intolerance and your hate aside.
Yes, but it's not about intolerance and hate. It's about the fact I don't want some guy breaking into my car and stealing my stuff. And I don't think that it's fair that he gets to do whatever he wants because he breaks the law, and I get restrictions placed on me because I abide the law.
Okay, if you don't like the prohibition crime, then end prohibition. But don't complain about the crime from prohibition if you don't like the crime, because you are not involved in the prohibition issue. So how can you complain about the prohibition crime? You fail to even identify that it's prohibition crime. So you can't even correctly identify a solution to a problem you haven't correctly identified.
Actually, I have a great solution. The solution is that we simply take the crackheads, we put them on an island somewhere, and they can all have their crack together, and we'll see how long they last. Then my car doesn't get broken into.
You know what? That's a whole lot of work. You know, like, why don't you just mind your own business? You know, like, why don't you just let live and let live? And you know, like, if you unwind this whole thing about the drug war, what you're going to find is that instead of them trying to steal $5 out of your glove compartment to buy a crack of hoot, they can go pick up a pop bottle and get a crack hoot for a nickel. Now, there's the difference is 100% or a crack hoot should cost a nickel, and instead it costs $5. And that's why your car got broke into. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I guess to you it makes sense. To me,
well, listen. You know what? I'll tell you this. Like, I've got the economic arguments all laid out here. I got the economic models all designed, and I want to show them to you and Chris and to Professor Plexus. And I want you guys to deny, that drug prohibition is raising the level of criminality. Like, that's what it is. The level of criminality. Your car getting broken into you and your iPod getting stolen is just a statistic in the level of criminality increasing. Does that make sense?
Well, I understand the argument about, you know, prohibition and as it relates to crime, like property crime and stuff like that. There's
okay,
nothing.
Well, then stop there. Either if you want to solve the crime, then address the issue of drug prohibition. If you don't want to,
well, now Tim, let's be fair. You want to legalize all drugs.
No, you're trying to compartmentalize the argument. But you're trying to put it into compartments, nice and neat little arguments. Let's talk about gangs. Let's talk about crack pipes. Let's talk about street prostitution. Let's talk about some guy stealing my iPod. No, this is a basket of problems. These are conjoined.
Yes, and your solution is to legalize all drugs.
Yes, no, to regulate them and to control them, so that you can't control something that's illegal. It's in the black market. By definition, it's out of control. You know, it's outside the jurisdiction of the law. If you want to control them, you got to regulate them and bring them inside to the jurisdiction of the law. A dealer doesn't check ID of the student. If you want the IDs checked to the students, you got to issue a business license and issue regulation, and it's just that simple.
So,
you know,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're saying it's just that simple. You think this problem can be solved just like that?
Just like that, overnight. And that's how ridiculous this problem is. Is like, listen, I am not a marijuana advocate, and you know, I am not even an anti-prohibitionist. I am a civil libertarian, and you know, I'm social libertarian. I think that, like, you know, there's just I'm trying to stand back and look at this issue, and I'm trying to look at the empirical evidence, and I'm trying to look at the science. And what I say is that if we had a fair debate and a fair exchange of ideas
and free crack pipes, everything would be fine.
Well, you know what? If you wanna talk about crack pipes, talk about crack pipes. But if you want to talk about solving the problems and not having to have the government do these kind of things, like, the government has created this problem, okay? And you know, this whole idea of harm reduction, as far as I'm concerned, is, you know, like putting Band-Aid on a nuclear burn. You know, the problem is the government. The government is out of control. The